first. We're we're going first about we're gonna talk about breakfast. We'll talk about breakfast.
This is actually a really good topic for me.
This is actually a really good topic for me. This this is actually a really good topics a really good topic for me.
This is one of my favorite topics.
This is one of my favorite topic. This is one of my favorite topics
Because breakfast is probably my favorite meal of the day.
because uh because breakfast is breakfast is probably my favorite my favorite meal my favorite meals of the day. First we are going to talk about breakfast. This is actually a really good topic for me. This is one of my favorite topics because breakfast is probably my favorite meal of the day.
Right? We usually have 3 meals: breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We have we usually have we u- we usually have 3 meals. We usually have 3 meals: breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Or maybe in your country there are more than 3 meals.
Or maybe in your countries in your countries in your country uh, or maybe in your countries, I don't know.
Is probably all right. So first, we're going to talk about breakfast, right? It's the first
It's the
meal
first
of the
meal
day.
of the day. It's the first meal of the day.
So, before we start, remember that if you need more listening practice, you can go to www.we'regonnatoalkaboutbreakfast.
Breakfast.
This is first meal of the
First meal of the day. Um, maybe in your country, there, or in your maybe in your country, uh, there are more than 3 meals. There are more than 3 meals, but in most country, I think so.
day. Or maybe in your country
Or
there
maybe
are more
there are
than
more
3
than
meals,
3 meals,
but
but
in most
in most
cultures
cultures,
and most countries, we have some kind of breakfast.
but in most culture, but in most cultures, in most country, we have we have some kind of breakfast. Uh, but in most cultures, in most countries, we have some kinds of breakfast.
Right? It's the first meal of the day.
It's the first meal is the first meal is the first meal of the day. Is the first meal of the day, right?
So, first, I want to tell you a little bit about the
So first, I wanna tell you a little bit about
American breakfast.
the American breakfast. Ameri American American breakfast. And I wanna tell you a little bit about the American breakfast.
The classic American breakfast.
The classic American the classic American breakfast. The classic American breakfast.
People see a certain style of American breakfast.
People see a certain style. People see a certain style. A certain style. A certain style. People see a certain style. People see a certain style of American breakfast. American breakfast.
When they watch American movies.
When they watch American movies
And TV shows.
and TV show.
And for the most part, this
And for the most part,
this image of the American breakfast is pretty accurate.
this image of American breakfast is pretty pretty accurate.
But what I would say is that we don't eat this type of breakfast every day.
And what I could say is that we don't eat we don't eat we don't eat this type. And what I could say is that we don't eat this type of breakfast every day. Every day. Type breakfast every day.
So, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
So on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, on the weekend, on weekday,
on weekdays,
on weekday,
most Americans don't have time to make a big breakfast.
most American don't have a time to make a big breakfast. A big breakfast. So on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, on weekdays, most Americans don't have time to make a big breakfast.
Right? We have to get ready. We have
We have to get ready. We have to get ready. We have to get
to
ready.
prepare ourselves for our
We have to prepare yourself. We have to prepare yourself. Ourselves, right? We have prepare ourselves
day at work. Thursday, Friday, on
on
weekdays,
weekdays.
most
Most
Americans
Americans
don't have
don't have a
time to
time
make
to
a
make
big
a big
breakfast,
breakfast,
right? We
right?
have to
We
get
have to get
ready.
ready.
We have to
We have
prepare
to prepare
ourselves for our
ourselves
day
for our
at
day at
work.
work. For our days at work. For our day at work.
And we don't have a bunch of time to to cook breakfast.
So we don't have we don't have a bunch of time to cook breakfast. Right? I want to tell you a little bit. I want to tell you a little bit about American breakfast, the classics American breakfast. So people see a certain style of American breakfast when they watch TV, watch American video movies, and TV show, and for the most part, this image of American breakfast is pretty accurate. What I would say is that we don't eat this type of breakfast every day. On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, on weekdays, most Americans don't have time to make a big breakfast. We have to get ready. We have to prepare ourselves for our day at work, and we don't have a bunch of time to cook breakfast.
In the morning. So many
Breakfast in the morning.
Americans tend to make a simple breakfast.
So many American tend to make a simple breakfast. So many American tend to make a simple breakfast. Make a simple breakfast. Make a simple breakfast.
Or they might not even cook.
Or they may not even cook. They might not even
Anything. They
cook anything.
might just eat cereal and milk.
They might just eat. They might just. They might just eat cereal and milk. Many Americans tend to make a simple breakfast, or they might not even make. They might not even cook anything. They might just enjoy. They might just eat cereal and milk. Cereal and milk.
Right? When I was, let's see, when I was in elementary school, middle school, and sometimes when I was in high school,
When I was elementary school, when I were elementary elementary school, middle school, and a middle school, and sometime when I was in high s- high school, um,
I would eat cereal for breakfast.
I would eat cereal. I would eat cereal for breakfast. For breakfast.
I loved cereal, and it wasn't a bad breakfast.
I love cereal and it wasn't. I love cereal and is I love cereal and it wasn't. And it wasn't. And it wasn't a bad breakfast. Many Americans tend to make a simple breakfast, or they might not even cook anything. They might just eat cereal and milk. When I was in elementary school, middle school, and sometime when I was in a high school, I would eat cereal for breakfast. I love cereal, and it wasn't a bad breakfast.
I actually enjoyed this.
I actually enjoyed this. I actually I actually enjoyed it. Mm, I actually enjoyed. I actually enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it.
I'm sure many of
I'm sure many of you. I'm sure many of you.
the listening time listeners
Listener.
probably enjoy cereal
I'm sure many of you probably enjoy cereal.
as well.
Enjoy cereal as well. Enjoy cereal as well. Many Americans to make a simple breakfast they might not even cook anything. They might just eat cereal and milk. When I was in elementary school, middle school, and sometimes when I was high school, I would eat cereal for breakfast. I love cereal, and it wasn't a bad breakfast for me. I'm sure many of you probably enjoy cereal as well.
It's good. There's a reason why it's so popular.
It's good. It's good. Mm, it's good. There's a there's a there's a reason why. There's a reason why it's so popular. It's so popular among. It's so popular
Among
among
people everywhere
people
in the world.
everywhere. People everywhere. Everywhere in the world. In the world. Many American tend to make a simple breakfast, or they might not even cook anything. They just enjoy. They just eat cereal and milk. When I was in elementary school, middle school, and sometimes when I was high school, I would eat. I would eat. I wasn't in high school. I would eat clear cereal for breakfast. I love cereal, and it wasn't a bad breakfast for me. So I actually enjoyed. I actually enjoyed it. And I'm sure many of you, many listening times, listeners, probably enjoy schedule as well. It's good. So there is a reason why it's so popular everywhere in the world. Popular among people everywhere in the world.
World. Some of my favorite breakfasts were, let's see, Honey Nut
Honey Nut
Cheerios, Apple
Cheerios,
Cinnamon
Apple Cinnamon
Cheerios,
Cheerios,
Apple
Apple
Jacks,
Jack,
a lot of different
a lot
cereals.
different cereal.
But
Yeah.
yeah, many
Many
Americans eat
American and
cereal
cereal
on the
on the
weekdays.
weekday. Many 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 American. No, I don't know. And mm, many American is cereal cereal on the weekday. Many Americans eat cereal on the weekday,
But on
but
the weekends,
but on the weekend, but on the week, but on the weekend, but on the weekends.
we like to eat a bigger breakfast.
We like to eat a bigger. We like to eat. We like to eat. We like to eat a big breakfast. We like to eat a. We like to eat a bigger. We like to eat a bigger breakfast. We like to. Many Americans eat cereal on the weekdays. So, but on the weekends, we like to eat a bigger cereal, bigger breakfast. We like to eat bigger breakfast.
You've probably seen the American breakfast in TV shows or
We, you probably, you probably, you probably seen the American breakfast in the TV show American breakfast in the TV show. You are probably seeing the American breakfast is a TV show.
movies where the
Movies, movies where the family,
family
where the
sits
family sits down
down and
and
eats
eat
eggs
eggs,
and bacon and
bacon, pancake.
pancakes and
Um, in the TV show or movie or movies or movie, a TV show or movie where where TV show where the family where the family sits down and eat sit down and sit down and eat
all kinds of things like that.
Sit down and eat egg. Sit down and eat egg. Sit, you are probably seeing the American in the TV show, a movie where the family sits down and eat egg and bacon and pancake and all kinds of things like that. And
We don't do
and all kind of thing and all kind of things and all kind of thing that's and kind of things like that. We don't have
that every weekend.
we don't do that every weekend. We don't do that every weekend. We don't do that every weekend. We don't do that every weekend. We don't do that every weekend.
For sure.
For sure.
But
But
it's definitely something that we do.
Yes, we do. But it's definitely. But it's definitely something. Definitely something.
Often.
That we do often. We do often.
Right? Or we like to go out to
We like to go out to
restaurants to
we like to we like to go out to restaurant to restaurant to restaurant to restaurant
eat breakfast there.
to eat breakfast there.
So maybe we don't want to cook pancakes. But it's definitely family sits down and eats eggs and bacon and pancakes and all kinds of things like that.
All kinds of things like that. We don't have to. We don't have to. We don't do that every weekend. It's definitely something that we do often. We like go to. We like go out to. We like to go out to restaurant.
We don't do that every weekend.
We like to outside to the restaurant to eat breakfast to eat breakfast there. So we don't do that every weekend. It's definitely something that we do often, and we like to go out to restaurant at breakfast there. Mm.
For sure. but it's definitely something that we do
something that we
often,
do often,
right? Or
right?
we like
Or
to
we like
go
to go
out
out
to
to
restaurants to
restaurant
eat
to eat
breakfast there.
breakfast there.
So maybe we don't want to cook pancakes at home,
So maybe we don't
but
want
we
to.
want
So we don't want to cook. So we don't want to cook pancakes. So we don't want to cook pancakes at home. We don't to cook or we don't to cook pancakes at home, but we want
someone else to cook pancakes for us.
but we want someone else, but we want to cook, but we want but uh but we want to but we want someone but we want someone else someone but we want someone else but we want someone else but we want someone else to cook pancake for us for us pancakes for us. So we don't to cook pancakes at home, but we want someone else to cook pancakes for it.
So we go out to some breakfast restaurant.
So we go out some breakfast. So we go out to come. So we go out. So we go out home. Breakfast. So we go out for. So we go out to some breakfast restaurant.
On Saturdays or Sundays. This is
On Saturday or Sunday. On Saturday or even as Sunday on Sunday or Saturday.
pretty common.
This is pretty common. This is pretty common.
Did this a lot when I was growing up.
I did this a lot when I did this. I did this a lot when I was. This is pretty common. Common. I did this a lot when I was growing up.
With my family, or
I was growing up. Growing up with my family. With my family.
or even as an adult.
Or even as adult. Even as an adult. As even an adult. So we go out some breakfast restaurant. Grow up with my family or even as an adult.
I still do this a lot.
I still do this a lot. I still do this a lot. First, we are gonna talk about breakfast. This is actually a really good topic for me. This is one of my favorite topics because breakfast is probably my favorite meal of the day. We usually have three meals: breakfast, lunch, dinner, or maybe in your country there are more than three meals. But in most cultures, in most countries, we have some kinds of breakfast. It's the first meal of the day. I want to tell you a little bit about the American breakfast, the classic American breakfast. People see a certain style of American breakfast when they watch American movies and a TV show, and for the most part, this image of American breakfast is pretty accurate. What I could say is that we don't eat this type of breakfast every day. On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, on weekdays, most Americans don't have time to make a big breakfast. We have to get ready. We have to prepare ourselves for our day at work, and we don't have a bunch of time to cook breakfast in the morning. Maybe many Americans tend to make a simple breakfast, or they might not even cook anything. They might just eat cereal and milk. When I was in elementary school, middle school, and sometimes when I was in high school, I would eat cereal for breakfast. And I love cereal, and it wasn't a bad breakfast. I actually enjoyed it. I'm sure many of you probably enjoy cereal as well. It's good. There's a reason why it's so popular among people everywhere in the world. So many a cat cereal on the weekday, but on the weekends we like to eat a bigger breakfast. You have probably seen the American breakfast in TV shows or movies where the family sits down and eats eggs and bacon, pancakes, and all kinds of things like that. We don't do that every weekend. It's definitely something is that uh, we do often. We like to go out restaurant to eat breakfast there. So uh, we for mm, we don't cook pancakes at home, and we want someone else to cook pancakes for the us, and then so we go out some breakfast restaurant growing up with my family, even as an adult. I still do this a lot.